to you top news of the week. The Taliban marched ahead and captured the capital Kabul on Sunday, 2 weeks before the withdrawal of US troops. The withdrawal of American troops began on May 1st, and since then the Taliban also became active. They captured big cities one by one, and with the capture of Kabul, they took control of the whole country. The Front Northern Alliance, created to save Afghanistan, has waged a war against the Taliban. The Taliban is also facing opposition from the general public in many places. A similar incident has come to the fore in Jalalabad. Here people put the flag of Afghanistan in the midst of the Taliban regime, which the Taliban tried to remove and put their own flag. During this, people clashed with the Taliban. They opened fire with the Taliban, in which one person is reported to have been killed. Taliban bans female news anchors in Afghanistan. The Taliban have started anchoring their people at the same time. The governor of Balkh province, Salima Marazi, has been taken hostage. The reality of Taliban regarding women's rights has come to fore within 24 hours. All India Muslim Personal Law Board spokesperson Sajjad Numani shocking statement has come to light regarding the Taliban. Numani congratulates the Taliban, describing the Taliban's occupation of Afghanistan as justified. He said that the Hindu Muslim salutes the Taliban. Britain has said it will arrange for the resettlement of 20,000 Afghan refugees. In this, priority will be given to women and minorities on religious grounds. The Human Rights Council of United Nations has scheduled a special session on 24 August to discuss the situation in Afghanistan. The Taliban is now preparing to form a government in Afghanistan. Co-founder and political head Mullah Baradar could be the president of Afghanistan. On one side, the Taliban rule is being established in Afghanistan. Vice President Amrullah Saleh has declared himself the president of Afghanistan. President Ashraf Ghani is out of the country. That's why I am the president now according to the constitution. I appeal to everyone for support. President Ashraf Ghani left the country 3 days ago after the Taliban captured Kabul. Prime Minister Narendra Modi took a meeting of Cabinet Committee of Security on Tuesday on the situation created after the Taliban occupation in Afghanistan. The Prime Minister asked the official related to Afghan affairs to take all the necessary measures of safe return of Indians from Afghanistan in coming days. 150 people, including India's ambassador to Afghanistan, Rodendra Tandon, other Indians started in Afghanistan, are also in safe areas, and they will also be airlifted in a day or two. Malala Yousafzai, a Pakistani social activist who won the Nobel Prize, has expressed concern over the situation in Afghanistan. Malala, who lives in Britain, said on Tuesday that women and girls in Afghanistan are not safe. World leaders should take immediate action on this. Malala has also appealed to the Pakistan government to give place to Afghan refugees. Delhi Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party National Convener Arvind Kejriwal on Tuesday announced Colonel Ajay Kotial as the party's chief ministerial face of the 2022 Uttarakhand Assembly elections. Kotial, an Indian Army veteran and former principal of Nehru Institute of at Uttarkashi, is known for his role in reconstructions of Kedarnath after the flash floods in 2013. He shot 2 promises in 2013 when he, with the help of an instructions, trained 30 youngsters, of which 28 got restricted in the Garhwal. He later in 2015 started a non-profit trust youth foundation as more youngsters approached him. The youth foundation, which operates 6 camps in various districts of Uttarakhand, also helps in providing medical facilities to the poor people in Garhwal region. Announcing the decision to pick Kothiyal as the AAP CM face, Kejriwal said this is based on the feedback received from the people. Petroleum companies increased the price of domestic LPG cylinders by Rs 25. The price of a non-subsidized 14.2 kg cylinder in Delhi is now Rs 859.50. New rates are effective from 17th August. This is the second consecutive month that the oil companies have hiked domestic cooking gas prices. A domestic cylinder cost Rs 809 on June 1st. This was hiked to Rs 834 on July 1st. After the increased price, a 14.2 kg LPG cylinder will now cost Rs 886 in Calcutta, Rs 859.5 in Mumbai and Rs 897.5 in Lucknow. The domestic LPG cylinder, the price of 19 kg commercial cylinder has also been increased by Rs 68. Now the price of a commercial cylinder in Delhi will cost Rs 1618. Since February this year, the price of LPG has increased by Rs 80.50 per cylinder. LPG prices were increased twice in February. First, the price was Rs 831.50. Then on February 15, the price of a non-subsidized LPG cylinder was Rs 831.50. On February 25, the price of cylinders was increased again, which made the cost of an LPG cylinder to Rs 856.50. The price of the commercial gas cylinder has increased by Rs 150 in 5 months. This is the highest price at which a subsidized domestic cylinder is being sold in the country. Fuel prices across the country have been at record highs. The petrol sold at Rs 101.84 a litre and diesel at Rs 89.87 a litre in the national capital. Thai government has decided to extend lockdown measures until the end of the month in the face of rising COVID-19 infections. But banks and financial institutions located in department stores will be allowed to reopen. A meeting chaired by Prime Minister, the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administrations decided to extend existing COVID-19 restrictions until August 31. Restrictions that were put in place to contain the spread of COVID-19. Bangkok and 28 other dark red provinces last month were going to expire. However, banks and financial institutions in malls will be allowed to resume operations. In order to help flatten the infection curve, the government will also ramp up public testing, especially at business which employ more than 50 workers. They went on to say that wider use of antigen test kits among the public will be promoted and relevant agencies will begin work on the Thai COVID pass in preparation for the country's reopening. The CCA also approved the 7+7 tourism scheme in which tourists who have already spent 7 days in under the Phuket Sandbox program will be allowed to travel to Surat Thani, Krabi. The CCA has a vaccine swab deal with Bhutan. The government remains committed to vaccinating as many people in vulnerable group as possible. The Department of Health is advising vaccination against COVID-19 for young people aged 12 to 18 years who suffer from illness amid concerns over rising infections in this age group. A total of 7,787 people in this group were diagnosed with the disease in the first week of August. In the second week, the number rose to 8,733. This pointed to the need to greater monitoring of people in this age group for infection. The Royal College of Pediatricians of Thailand had advised that young people aged 12 years and up who live in maximum and strict COVID-19 control areas should be vaccinated against COVID-19. The vaccination program should focus on young people who suffer from underlying illnesses that put them at risk, such as obesity, heart disease, kidney disease, cancer, low immune system, diabetes, and genetic disorders. These were the top news of the week. Keep connected to the Indo-Thai News.